I wanted to come on here and talk about the negative BS and if that is something you've been consuming, still consuming. And the reason why, it looks blurry. Anyway, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I feel like we listen to a lot of the, social media, the shit on TV. We also hang around people that could be negative, and all these people and these things that we feed our subconscious mind is negative BS. And if it was one thing that I've learned through my personal development journey and going through my spiritual awakening and all of that, it's what am I consuming? What is my mind consuming? Because there are studies that have shown that we adapt to our environment. So if we're around negative people all the time, then we're going to become very negative people. Like, our mindset's going to just adapt to that and become very negative, and we don't even realize it most of the time. It's just very subconscious. So it's important that you surround yourself with people that are supportive, uplifting. It's like almost like cleansing your mind. You've got to cleanse your mind, cleanse your energy in particular, because these being around this type of energy and negativity is just feeding into the subconscious mind or your ego and reaffirming all the traumas and the belief systems that are holding you back, your limiting beliefs. And so it's very important to be wary and to ask yourself, like, where could I be letting this person go? Or where could I be not watching as much Netflix or the news or whatever? And make yourself accountable for it, because this is where we're going to be able to, create change and stop limiting ourselves from our, potential higher self. Do you know what I mean? Like, we limit ourselves all the time because of all these things around us. If you want to live a fulfilling life, if you want to actually be happy, then there's always going to be sacrifices to make, and these aren't bad, they're not bad sacrifices. They're actually good sacrifices. You want to let go of them. You want to let go of this shit, because the moment you let go of stuff that's at a low vibration, that is negative, that's not in alignment, it's just like icky energy, then you're creating space. It's like getting rid of old furniture, removing it so that you can buy the new furniture. You can't buy a couch. If you want to buy a new couch, you have to get rid of the old one first. So just get rid of that unnecessary BS, negative BS out of your life, so that you can create room and space for what's meant for you and to your highest good. So you got to be really honest with yourself, and you've actually got to make I was waiting for my little puppy to come in. Sorry about that. So yeah, you've just got to, I guess, be honest with yourself and ask yourself, where can I create space, get rid of the icky stuff that is holding me back? Because if you're wanting to change the course of your life in any shape or form, you're going to have to make those type of sacrifices. You're going to have to leave the old shit behind, and this can come with, this can be old identities, this can be old belief systems, this can be people that are not serving you, this could be a relationship, this could be a job, it could look like anything that's not in alignment with where you're wanting to go. If you're wanting to create a life that is to your fucking highest potential, something that's going to light up your soul, something that's going to make you happy, fulfilling, then you have to make a change right now so that you can become that person. And this is the thing, everything that is created in the future, whatever you want, it starts with changing it right now in this present moment. We create our life, our future, from this present moment, because the only thing that matters is right now. The past has already happened. It doesn't exist anymore. And the future doesn't exist. And it's created from the present moment. That's why being present and grounded and gratitude is so fucking powerful, and like, it's crazy when you actually become more present and you like observe what's around you and be appreciative. This is where you create from right now. This is where people fuck up. This is where people make mistakes. We're so caught up on the past. We're so hung up on things that have happened to us months, years ago, whatever, that we continuously play that over in our subconscious mind, and we repeat these emotions. It's literally like an addiction. We become addicted to these emotions. We become addicted to what's happened. We replay that in our life. So then we keep re-experiencing that in our life, because we're like, if you think of a past experience that's happened that you can't let go of, you keep thinking about, well, you're thinking about it in present moment. So that means you're going to recreate that in your future right now. The reason why is because when everything is energy, everything is energy. Like, we are the creators of our life. So when we're creating this life that exists in our very own eyes, we do this by who we are, who we ultimately are, who we believe we are. Our belief systems are what creates our life. Like, everything is vibrating, everything is energy. This is scientifically proven. So if you're focusing all your energy and attention on negative shit that's happened in the past, your attention's elsewhere and all this negative BS, well, because that's your present state, that's what you're currently thinking about, you're creating that for your future right now. So just think of like situations that you've been in, that you've constantly been in. And this always shows up in relationships, always. So let's just say that you attract the same type of people all the fucking time. I made another YouTube video about it, go check it out. Literally, you're attracting the same type of relationship because you haven't learned the lesson. You haven't let go of that story and that narrative of like, oh, maybe it's like all men are fucking dickheads, or all women are cheaters. It's like, that's your core belief, so you keep attracting cheaters in your life. It's so fucking simple. All you need to do is let go of the old stories and recreate the future from the unknown, which is things you haven't even lived yet. It's things that you haven't even experienced. That's the thing. We like to think of life as like it's this one narrow street, but when you open your perception and you actually ask yourself of things that you've never experienced before, so it's very uncomfortable, because it's like, if you actually ask yourself, oh, like what if I had like $1 million, or what if I had a lot of money, what if I had this big fucking house, blah blah blah, it wouldn't have even entered your thought until now. And it's like, oh my god, I could actually what if I could own that house? And then what happens is your ego kicks in and goes, oh, that's never gonna happen. You can't, you don't make enough money now to be able to, there's all these excuses that piles in. But the problem is, and this is how we honestly create, but we let our ego take over. We let our mind, and from past experiences, people that want to try things and they fail, they don't do it again, because it's like, well, I failed before, I'm gonna fail again. So you're literally predicting your future before it even happened. What if you just stepped into that unknown and was like, well, I could own this thriving business. I could be such a successful businesswoman, and that would just be that would be my dream. How fucking cool would that be? I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know exactly the steps that I need to do that's gonna get me there, but I can picture it, I can visualize it, I could feel it. What's to say that can't happen? There's nothing stopping you. There's no reason why not to. But when we don't even let ourselves get to that point. And then even if you do, let's say that you're here now and you're like, okay, let's all right, Jessie, let's close our eyes and visualize and feel into let's say having $1 million. How cool would that be? We open our eyes, we go back to the old programming. We go, oh, this can never happen, blah, blah, blah. I'm not good enough. All these stories that creep back into our subconscious mind. So we don't even give ourselves the opportunity, because we let our past dictate our future, because we're like, this happened in the past, or I felt unworthy in the past. What am I to feel worthy enough to own a thriving business? Who am I to, that's never going to happen. Why not? You are the creator of your life. You're an energetic being. Everything is made up of energy. I told you, we've talked about this just now. Everything is energy. You can attract anything you want. You've just got to close your eyes, visualize, feel into it, know what the fuck it is that you want, and then show up every single day as you already experiencing, already being that person that's owning the thriving business, that's in that relationship. Because what you're doing is you're actually, because you're in that state, that energetic state, that vibration, you're actually calling that in. You're recreating your future right now. Rather than, being in that energetic state of all men or women are cheaters, you're like, no, actually, I can have a man or a woman that's like going to treat me like gold. Like, why can't I? The past is the past. It's happened, whatever. Obviously I was in a different energetic space then. But now I'm creating my future. That's literally, it's just like a decision. But it's up to you. So you got to get off your ass and you got to stop, being the victim and thinking everything happens to me. I can't control anything. It's this person's fault, that person's fault. And nip yourself at the butt and go, I'm taking responsibility because it's my life. You are responsible for how you react to things. You can choose whether to accept or reject. This is the power of our mind, is we can accept or reject information. So consciously decide to reject the bullshit and reaffirm. It's like making a decision of what you want, what your life, how you want your life to be, and then reaffirming that and accepting that every single day. And then rather than living on autopilot and reacting to what's going on around us because we've been programmed to use our five senses and just go, oh, well, this is happening to me, this and blah, blah, blah. You can recreate it in advance, your future, by using the power of your imagination, using your senses, the feeling senses, going beyond that, and actually recreating something that you want to, like creating a life that's going to be fulfilling to you. And stop being like a fucking broken record that's replaying your life and saying that life is just happening to me. It's a little dent. Just wipe the dent and then it will go beautiful. Like, stop reacting, stop living in default mode, stop saturating yourself with this negativity, and stop trying to do what everyone else is doing just because it's the way it's meant to be. It's absolutely not the way it's meant to be. We've been taught completely wrong by society. School doesn't teach us. No one teaches us what we've come on here to do. We've actually got so much more power than we realize. Our imagination is powerful. Passion is like a perfect indication of what we want in life. What are you passionate about? And this is like driven by emotions of joy. What lights you up, lights your soul on fire. We don't do things we're passionate about. We die having done nothing that we actually came here wanting to do. We just think that we're meant to do what everyone else is doing, which is wrong. It's not right. And you can decide any day. Why not decide now and just be like, okay, well, I actually want to live a different life. I'm very unhappy. I'm very unfulfilled. I'm working my ass off for a guy who doesn't even respect me, for a boss that doesn't respect me. And I'm not doing what I'm happy, like I'm not even living my own purpose, what I came here to do. So ask yourself, what do you desire? What lights you up? I can guarantee you right now, and I say this all the time, if you watch my content, your purpose in life, what you came here to do, I'll tell you a hint, it's your story. It's what you've been through. Everyone goes through their own journey, their own shits, their tough times and things like that for a reason. For a very, very good fucking reason. Once you start to do the work within, to discover who you are, and realize that you're not your trauma, you're not your past, you're not how people have treated you. You realize that, oh, that this has actually happened for a reason. You've gone through these emotional troublings, whatever, you go through these emotional experiences, you come out of it at the other side. This is where wisdom comes in. This is why people say I'm so wise, is because I've gone through, I've gone through stuff in life. I've gone through pain and suffering, but I've come out of the other side. We all do, though. We all can. We've just got to do it. And I'm no better than you. Like, we are all wise. We are all so wise. We are all so uniquely different. We all have these gifts and these abilities. We can all teach. We can all help people. And I genuinely believe we all came here to help people and to give and to love, unconditionally love. So if you're like, well, fuck, what do I want to do? What do I do now? Just find what lights you up. What's your passion? What have you been through and what have you learned? And if you have no idea, if you're still struggling and in the depth of your pain and suffering, well, now's the time to come through the other side, work through it, release the emotions, figure out who you are as a person, because we don't know who we are. That's a bit loud, thank you. I'm hosting a self-love webinar called Start Loving Yourself. It's on March 22nd. At 6 p.m. I highly recommend you come to it because it's going to be so powerful. We don't know who we are. We don't even love ourselves. I ask everyone now. It's so fucking cool. I'm like, if you look in the mirror, can you actually say that you love yourself, fully, and really mean it? Because I definitely couldn't 4 years ago. Absolutely not. I had no idea who I was. And we don't even know who we are because we don't like who we are. We've been conditioned and programmed, and we have these beliefs about ourselves, which is all just bullshit. So when we can get to the root of who we are, and this is going to help us find our purpose and what we came here to do, and we can really deeply discover we are good enough, we are worthy enough to be able to achieve and to live a life here where there's a lot of money involved, where there's amazing relationship, whatever it is that we desire. It is available to us. It is definitely available to us. So I highly recommend you book your spot in, because you have to register for the self-love webinar. It's going to be really powerful. It's free, and I will be here. And I guarantee you will have some transformational experiences from that, because I've come a long way, honestly. And there's so much work to do. And the thing is, when you decide that you no longer want to be the same position as you are, there's no going back. There's absolutely, the work that I have done, there is absolutely no way that I'd ever return back to the person that I was and the life that I'd lived before. There was absolutely no, even in the really hard times where I felt like giving up, it wasn't even an option, and I knew that. When you can get to that place because you realize that there's something on the other side, or that there's more to life, and there's so much beauty and abundance, and there's a life that's so fulfilling that can be lived, and that you can achieve so much there, then it's why would I want to go back? Obviously there's going to be hurdles, there's going to be ups and downs. It's like a fucking roller coaster, but that's part of life. You would choose that over a mundane, shitty, negative, flat life anyway, wouldn't you? I sure as hell would. We came here to grow. We came here to go through our shit so that we can learn and grow. If we're not growing, we're dying. So if you're not constantly getting pushed out of your comfort zone, doing things that scare you but that excite you, which is also going to help you find your purpose and your passion, you cannot, I'm telling you right now, you cannot go out there and change your life and be the same person as you are here right now. It's not possible. You have to be a different person. And what I mean by this is by stepping into the stuff, the fear, the things, the unknown, things that you don't know what's going to be like. You have to step into the unknown and tackle fear, head on, face on, whatever. But it's fear that's excitement. It's fear that there's growth on the other end. It's not fear that I have to do this because if I don't, then I'm going to get told off or whatever. No, that is fear. It's either we either do things from fear or love. Most of us are driven from fear. If it's love-based and there's fear involved, then it's definitely love. The fear is the ego. The fear is trying to keep us safe and protect us from getting hurt. From what? From living our motherfucking best life? We've just got to push through that fear. I can guarantee you right now, 3 years ago, I could not come on here and talk to you guys. I had a problem. I was anxious. I was nervous. My trauma just kicked in. My anxiety, I had panic attacks. I couldn't even go live. Not even a Facebook group in front of like 2 people. The anxiety just got the better of me, and it was fear, but it was love fear. It's like I wanted to do it. I was just so fucking scared to do it. And now, since I've done it, I have grown so much. Now I continuously push myself out of my comfort zone. But like the thing with this is like you've got to have a goal. You have, on the other side of whatever you're wanting, there's growth, but bear in mind, you must have a goal, a desire. What do you want? Close your eyes, picture it, imagine it, feel into it, and then you must be that person. Being that person's going to push you out of your comfort zone, do things that person would do that your old person would no longer do. And that is where the love but fear comes into it. It's like you're meant to do it, but there's fear around it. It means go fucking do it. If it's a heck yes, do it. If it's a heck no, then fuck it right off. I probably shouldn't be swearing on YouTube. But you know what I mean? Negative BS. That's what it started off, and this is where we're ending it. Trust me. You can do it. Everyone is capable of achieving. Me 4 years ago, if you knew me 4 years ago, you'd be like, who the fuck is this person? Who is this person? She ain't the same person 4 years ago. And this is a good thing because I was very self-conscious, very low self-esteem. I couldn't even take photos. I couldn't take a photo. I wouldn't let anyone take a photo of me. I was living I was working at very crappy jobs that were very low paying. I had a very bad relationship with money. The things that I have achieved now, that version of me 4 years ago would not have believed that I'd be here achieving the things, because I'm a different person. And this is where a lot of us, our logical mind wants to try to like figure out how things are going to happen, but it's not possible, because our versions of us now, our mind, it's like, of course we're not going to know how, because when we haven't experienced it yet. Do you know what I mean? There's so many magical things, and things can turn out so much different, but so much better. There's so many times where I'm like, my mind is like, but it has to work out this way, this way, this way. And sometimes when I'm trying to manifest things, I'm like, this is how it's going to manifest. It manifests completely different. But it's like, it's for the better. And my mind in that moment wouldn't have been able to like figure out like how that would have played out. So don't worry about the how, just worry about exactly what life you want, what you desire, and you have to be that person and feel into it. Remember, everything's energy. So manipulate energy by feeling into it. The vibration, the higher the emotions are, like the more frequency level the emotions are, which is like joy, happiness, all those, high vibe emotions, the more you're going to attract that. But the lower the negative, that's why like the more you hang around negative people, the more you're going to attract negativity in your life. It's because it's a lower vibration. We want to manipulate energy in a good way for us, for our benefit, by getting high vibes. And when we tap into what our future life would look like right now by closing our eyes and feeling into it, the emotions are fucking amazing. It's like you get butterflies, you get tingles or whatever. It just feels really good. That's where you want to go. And then every single day you open up new opportunities. The more you get out of your comfort zone, the more you're directed, like the more that you're heavy focused in that direction, the more you're going to take steps towards that way. It's going to be nerve-wracking and fearful, but it's the right thing to do because you know it. New opportunities are going to come just randomly, like present itself to you because you're more aware of it now, whether you weren't before. New opportunities like will come about. Everything will just start unfolding, and your life will just start to slowly just become magical, if that makes sense. Like, I remember thinking, like, every day waking up and making sure that I started off my day, even though I was going into the 9-to-5 job that I hated, I would start off the day right by meditating or listening to one of, many great mentors out there. I would saturate my mind. I would remind myself who I am. I would do all these things, and I would constantly put myself in a fearful situation that I knew was going to be right, which is like going live or showing up on Instagram, promoting manifestation, which I was so scared about, doing little things bit by bit that really scared me, which now it's like easy, but it's, it's so fulfilling to me. And I knew it was the right direction because I made sure what my focus was on, and it was on that life, and I was being that person. Because, like, just think about it. If you wanted to run a successful business, how would you run it? What would you be doing? In my mind, with this successful business, I was like, oh, I'd be showing up on live, I would be hosting these webinars, I would be doing this, I'd be doing that. And then the moment I thought about it, I was like, oh, I can't do that, that's too scary. And like, see, it was a good thing. It's like I want to do it because that's who I like, what I vision my company and how I'd be so successful. It's like, but there's so much fear around it because I've never done it before, and all this like programming and trauma has come up and all of this stuff, which I've worked through to get through it. And look where I am now. I am running a business. I'm still, the process is so unfolding. It's so beautiful, and it's been so amazing. And now, like, I've come so far, and I've been able to hit certain goals that I absolutely never thought I'd be able to hit. But because I've been able to push myself through the fear, there's always a reward from it. There's always the other side of it, which is fucking amazing results and everything like that. So let me tell you right now that you need to start. Do this for you. And the self-love webinar, Start Loving Yourself, is on March 22nd. Please register. You're going to love it. And I also have one-on-one mentoring available if you would like personalized help. And yeah, thank you for being here, and I'll see you again another day.